Here we are. Won't forget it this time, will we? You're all ready to go? I think so. Perfect. Okay, guys. Well, it's a new year, and for the people I haven't already greeted, I greet you and wish you such a wonderful 2023. And it's something that doesn't just happen. It has to be orchestrated a good year. And I'm hoping that we'll all be able to do that this year with our businesses, with our lives, with our health and everything else. So we really wish you everything you wish yourselves with, I don't see without any obstacles. With God on our side, who can be against us? So we just say, let's have a blessed year and move forward and into the future. So that's great. We did say we were going to talk about the success, the habits that make us successful. You got it all on the invitation. And that's where we're going to start with this Zoom call, because I think it's always good to get back to basics, and what habits do we have to nurture, to look after, to get us going. And we're talking about business, because this business can get you where you want to go. And so basically, I want to start off with vision and imagination, because I think that's a very difficult thing. Writing your goals down. What do you want? There's so many things, and let's just cover it and see. So with vision and imagination, and those two go so hand in hand that it's important that we address them both, because we can only visualize what we can imagine. And if I ask you to visualize a new color, you probably couldn't, because there's no reference to it. I don't say you can't make a new color, but if you try and visualize a new color, it's pretty difficult. What would you even call it? And so that is what it's like for a lot of people to set goals, to visualize abundance. It's the same thing. So we've got to imagine abundance of what we want, abundant health. It's hard for somebody that has no health to imagine life without pain or life without illness, abundant health, abundant money, abundant whatever you want, friends, family, whatever is important to you. So we've got to imagine abundance. We've got to set our visions with imagination and emotion. And imagining abundance is difficult, because our belief system of actually what is possible would limit our imagination. And so when it suggests that we imagine, we've got to feel like, we've got to try and feel that abundance of what you want. So you've got to bring a lot of emotion into goals. And when I was thinking about this, I thought of a time when I was probably 20, probably 20. And I was working with this wonderful Irish lash, and I've told this before, called Betty. And she had 4 children. She was terribly old. She was about 35 or 36 with 4 kids. I was only 20. I mean, she was really, and her mother got ill in Ireland, and she didn't have the money to go and see her before she passed away. And I felt so helpless. That emotion of trying to imagine myself in that situation, it was just awful. And I was incapable of being able to give her the funds to do it. And I said to myself, I'm working, I can do this. There's never, ever going to be another time where I can't do some little thing like that and just help her get home for a very important reason. And that emotion stayed with me. That emotion sort of drove me to say, I've got to do something different. I want enough. I didn't think of abundance, but the emotion in me said, I want enough to not have to worry. And so that was where my first steps of unknowingly, my goal setting started, my vision started. And so, I'm saying to you, emotionally, where are you with your vision? And so, what I'm saying is, can you just scribble down a list of what you want to have happen? Like, for instance, and you always write your goals in the present tense. I earn so many rands a month. I earn so many rands a year. I'm surrounded by people I love and hold dear. I will help 10 people to double their incomes this year. I will go on my dream holiday. When? Put a date to it. I am going to the convention, the Impact Summit on the 14th of October. And that is I'm going to not go alone. I'm going to have 15 distributors with me. My team is going to be 20 or whatever. I will have whatever. And if you could just scribble down 10 of those, just quickly, just very, very quickly. Just if you've done it, that's good. It's I'm not going to ask you anything. It's just starting your mind and your imagination. What would be fabulous for you? So now, okay, can you feel emotion on any one of these things that you've just quickly written down? Any one of your desires? Have you got any particular one that jumps out at you? That if that happened this year, or not if, when that happens this year, it will have the most impact on your life. That's the one that sort of jumps out at you. Okay, so you've got this list, you've got one specific one that means a lot to you. I know Lester and Jill, we were talking yesterday, they want to take their family to see the 3 kids here, to see their 1 kid in Australia. I know that would be on their list, and that's the one that jumps out at them. It's an abundant travel plan. And so now you would then write that particular vision on a separate page. You would expand on it. You would write all things about it. You would set a deadline to achieve it. It doesn't have to be right now, but it's something you're going to work towards. You will list what you have to do to get it. You'll have a checklist on activity you've got to do. You will have your daily action plan. You'll be organized with some follow-up systems to keep yourself on track. You will probably share it with an upline to hold yourself accountable. So what we've got is a list of things, but one that jumps out at you, and you're going to write that and expand on it. And remember that all these visions that you have can be added to, taken away. Your vision's allowed to change. So what I'm really saying is make sure you can be emotional with your vision to unlock your unlimited potential. We all have unlimited potential, and it's a matter of trying to get ourselves out the way to achieve it. So now, obviously, you are going to go on this journey to get to your destination. So now you've made a list of how much you need, the expense of that journey, or how much you want in a savings account, or you know the amount. Now, then you would have to, let's say, you've got to be on the world team. So that you and another emerald, and you're doing 10,000 points minimum, and you're earning your It depends. It depends. A lot of people earning 20 or 30,000 Rand on the world team, and that might not be enough for your audacious goal. But anyway, you've got a journey from where you are now as a distributor or a manager or a director or a senior manager, wherever you are now, you are on this journey to where you have to be in the business. So your business step by step. I don't think becoming a world team makes a very big emotional impact, but what it can do for you makes that emotional impact. That's the thing. So we've got to know what we want to do with what we earn. So now you're on this journey, and I want to illustrate it. You started your journey, and this is your destination. Wherever it is, that's your destination. And you've got to differentiate what you're going through, which is your journey, and you're going to, which is your destination. So you are going to go through things on your journey. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to not necessarily have a good day every single day, because up until now in life in general, you haven't had a good day every single day. So now you have more activity in your day. You will have more challenges. Now, what are we going to do with those challenges? It's up to us. If we're excited about our destination of getting to the savings account or the trip or whatever it is that you want, maybe paying off your bond so you don't have a bond to pay every month. It's an emotional thing. It's exciting. And that is what drives your journey into reality. And you can get over your obstacles easier. If you have no reason to work, why work? You know, there's many reasons, and it's an achievement. It's an emotional thing with people. There are a lot of reasons, but all I'm saying is that for us to stay on track, for us to reach our abundant goal that we want, we've got to differentiate the going through to the going to. The going to has got to be so emotionally important to us, and you can believe it. So you're going to go through exciting times. You're going to go through some challenging times. What you're going to do in your challenging times, you're going to grow, you're going to learn, you're going to become a better person. And it's going to, the next goal you set yourself, the next journey you set yourself, you'll be a better person for it. Your mindset will be better. Your habits will be better. And so it all is dependent on us not mixing our journey and our destination. And this is where people lose their opportunity. And so we don't want anybody to lose their opportunity. And, you know, when things aren't going according to your plan, and obstacles get away, what can I learn from this? What can I do in a different way? Talk to people. Don't go silent. and so that is good. And then, you know, once you've got your plan and your emotion involved and what the business, the Life business can do for you, then I think it's important that you look at the three things: knowledge, skills, and ability. Your knowledge is theoretical and practical. You learn your knowledge, you read, you gain, you listen, whatever. Your skills are developed through training and through experience, through doing. So we've got to never forget that we can't sit and learn. We've got to do and make mistakes and grow. And then ability. You know, ability is being able to do something naturally, sort of inbuilt. There are people that have great ability in I don't know, let's say in personal relationships, better than others. Other people have great ability in like attention to detail. We all have different abilities, and it's so exciting to get people in your team with different abilities. but abilities can be improved with our intention to improve them. And so we've got to look at our knowledge, our skills, our abilities with intention. And, I just think it's exciting. We're going to, there have been a few changes. I'm going to really recommend that you get into this. I sent it out to the Vision World team and directors just a half an hour ago. This is, and again, Rise, which is your virtual kickoff. That's on Monday night at 1900 hours. You've got the send it to your team. That's it's the 9th of January on Monday. That's the Zoom link. Send it out, because that is a distributor Zoom meeting where there have been some little changes to how we're going to present the business, and like, for instance, focusing on 100 personal points. That's important, over 500 points through the team and that sort of thing. And your 3 and 30 will be what you personally introduce, not you introducing one and having the other 2 in your team. It's personal introduction. And these things are very good. They've been, it's an international thing. And I think it's really good because they've looked at what's been happening and the results. And it's going to be good for us. It's going to be very, very good. And then we have all the actual impact summits, which you've all got that. And if you haven't, phone me and I'll send it on email and on WhatsApp. So, but you can see, like, for instance, the Gauteng is on the 21st of January, and it's got the address there, and the code is 54. For you to book your tickets. You can take your guests. You don't have to book for guests. They're just going to know how many distributors, and then they can work out the right seating arrangements. The 22nd is in Lesotho. The 24th is in Cape Town. I don't have the number on here. It's been cut off, but we'll get it to you. The 26th is in PE, Cape 56, number 56, and the 28th is in Durban. And I'm stronger in actual fact, and the code is 57. So you've probably got this, and if you have, send it around to your team. And that is for guests and distributors. And Rico Brown from America will be at all those Impact Summit meetings for this year. So that's exciting. And then there's a convention, which is also an Impact Summit. I know. These are called Rise meetings. I beg your pardon. Rise kickoffs is this. The Impact Summit is the convention, which is on the 14th of October, and it's 285 Rand to book up until the 31st of January. That price will remain for new people joining, and in their first 3 months, their first 90 days, their first 3 months in the business, they can book for this Impact Summit, which is at 285 Rand. Old distributors who haven't booked by the end of January, it goes to the new price, which I don't know what the new price is. But so just when you get new people started, get them thinking, Impact Summit at Pretoria. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. It's going to be very exciting. Last year was amazing, and this year is going to be even more amazing. So how are we going to get there? You just arrange with your team how you're going to get there, how many are going, have a goal of how many are going, and let's get the whole year on track. And so, the big thing is to just get your habits sorted out. And if you can't get your habits sorted out until you've got your goals and your vision and your emotional direction that you're going to go in. And that's my little message for you. But I have a very exciting speaker coming up now, and a very, very successful world team distributor building a great has built a great business over the years, and that's Dr. Barry Bland. Barry, let's have you on board. I'm just trying to find you. Where are you? There, I can hear you. I just want to make it big. Okay, I'm finding you now. There you are.
Good evening, guys.
Thank you. Let me just do that. Beautiful. Thank you. I don't know how to get rid of myself. Okay.
And thank you for that message. I mean, I think that we all can do with hearing that, and wherever we are, at whatever point we happen to be, if you're comfortable, that's great. But the thing is that we have something that we can make a difference for and with. And if that's for you, that's great. And the thing is, our whole business has got this ability to help others to get to where Nola was talking about, that passion. And I think sometimes it's quite difficult to work it out for yourself. But maybe the easiest way about it is to say, what would I do if I had this? And then you would work out what you would do with it. So it's not just a matter of, oh, well, I need 500,000 rand. You need, what do I want to do with it? Because the money is pretty sterile, really. But it's what you can do with it, and who you can help, and how that grows. And I mean, what strikes me is that, as Nola was saying, whatever it is that you're doing, there are always going to be things that don't go well, whatever it is, whether you're at school, whether you're at university, whether you're at work, whether you're retired, all of those, there's always going to be something where something's not going well. But if you have something that is ahead of you, that you can really be encouraged about and know that this is what I've got to do. And what always has impressed me with VisionLife is that the plan is there. Now, you might want 500,000 to pay off your bond. Another person might want 500,000 to go on a holiday. We're all different. But, the thing is, VisionLife has got the plan in place for you to be able to work out how to get there. The marketing plan is very clear, and it allows you to get on and do that for yourself. Now, if it hasn't happened so far, then you have to look and see what it is that you're doing for yourself right now, because the plan works, the products work, and it really just depends on how you use all of those things for yourself and the people around you that you want to assist, to help. So if you want to make a difference this new year, then I guess we're going to have to, each of us is going to have to change something if it's going to be different from last year. And so if we can see how we can change that, and as I said, VisionLife just has the infrastructure to be able to plug into in order to make those differences. And then that will start giving you, you can start making those plans. How many people do I need to introduce into my business? How many people do I need to speak to in order to speak to about the product? How many of those people that do get involved need to take steps? And people, let's face it, at this time where cost of living is going up and all of those sorts of things. But we have the facility and capabilities and to state again, the infrastructure that allows us to build a bigger business. And you think of something very simple like the Tree NN. The Tree NN is an amazing product. It truly is. And the number of people that I've seen make a difference for their health, specifically their health. I'm not talking about their financial health, I'm talking about their physical health. Tree NN. And you know how economic Tree NN is. It really is for us. You think, Nola was speaking right at the beginning about aiming for your 100 points. 120 Tree NN is 102 points. That is such a boost for your business, because not only are you getting healthier, but you're helping at least 2 other people to get healthy. And if that's all you're doing, you're making a difference. And the beauty of it is that a box of the Tree NN is the 250, 272. And so you can build a business on one product. I know, when Pat got involved in the business a long time ago, pretty well the only product that she sold in the first probably 4 months, 5 months of the business was Amitone. And it worked. Strangely enough, it still works. Now, isn't that odd? And some people are now starting to see Amitone again and think, hey, we've got something here that really does make a difference. So, all of us get kind of stuck, older distributors perhaps, and those, as you're starting, you kind of get stuck on a product. And that's okay. But, there's such a wide variety of what we have. So, people can start talking about Amitone again. Not because it's changed, but because it's still the same effective product. And so whatever your habits are, whatever your normals are, then have a look at them and see, what can I change? Do I need to speak to more people? Because my habits are to speak to this number, but I want more. Do I speak to people about product? And what products? Am I always speaking about the same thing? So, Super 10 is still an amazing product. LDC is an amazing product. As I said, Tree NN is truly something that you can offer to people with perfect confidence that they are going to feel a difference with that, and that it will assist in their general good health. If you want to build a business, you have to get fit for it. Now, Nola mentioned some of those things that you need to get fit for. You need to get fit in your knowledge. You need to get fit in your abilities. You need to get, but part of that is fitness. Because as your business grows, it's more physically demanding. And so you need to be as well as you can be. Apart from the fact that it obviously helps you in all sorts of other ways, just how you present yourself sometimes. But, our NeoLife business is so diverse. and yet so structured that we can truly depend on it to give us whatever that goal that you have written down, and get excited about it, because that's where it helps you cover off and cover over and ride through the issues that are going to come your way. As soon as you stick your head up above the rest of the crowd, you are going to get the wind. And that's okay, because you're also going to get the benefits from that. So I just think, you know, we have an opportunity, we have the infrastructure, we have the products, we have the training that we get like this as well. Whatever it is that you have decided that you want to do this year and make a change, you can do it through this. So that's my New Year's kind of message, I guess. It is up to us. All the rest of it is in place. It is up to us. So for 2023, I really, really hope that you have the vision, the enthusiasm, and the massive goals that you can aim for. Thanks, Noel.
Thank you, Barry. That was great. I tell you what, Barry knows all about goals. Barry and Pat really know how to set goals and run and achieve them. So it's so exciting to hear from you. And yes, we're going to do it. We have big goals for the team, Barry. We have huge goals. And why do we have them? Because we know the joy of abundance and abundant thinking, abundance, and you know, people are going through such hard times, or appear to be, or are going to, according to the world authorities. Who knows? I don't believe it. We've got to just take charge of our life and stop whinging and get on with it. And there are a lot of people who are waiting for the likes of us to come and help them into a little business. And really, what a business it is. It does take effort, and it does take perhaps a change in what you do. But I tell you what, it can change your life forever. You know that.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, Barry and Pat came down from Zim with, I think it was 500 Rand in their pockets, you know, and boom, they had a house and they had a business, and, you know, and so they know all about what this business can do. And I really appreciate you sharing that with us. Thank you, Barry. Very good. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you. We're going to go on now to hearing about more mindset and whatever our friend here is going to talk to us about. And I'm just very, very excited to introduce Andre Comrie. What she talks about, she's brilliant at. What she's going, the message she's going to give us. There's Andre. Andre, thank you for being on the call, agreeing to chat to us, and we're very excited about the start to your new year. It's been a great start and all well. Thank you, Andre. Over to you.
Thanks, Nola. Hi, everyone. And thank you to Nola for her, not just her introduction, but her talk to us, and Barry Bland. And both of them have given us extremely important information regarding the power of our business and the power of the vision that pulls us forward. I'm going to try and provide some tools that might help us get there. And I want to remind us that one of the three things one of the three success habits is personal development. And so what I'm going to be talking about a little bit is related to personal development. And one of the things that we do in personal development is to read books. And I'm going to suggest a book that is worth getting hold of. And I'll give you the name of the book shortly. But these points that I'm going to suggest come out of that book. Goals, when I talk about goals now, I mean the monthly goals we set ourselves. I'm not talking about the vision of a being able to take your family to Australia, for example. I'm talking about the goals we set ourselves every month. And every single one of us in this business has to set a goal, be it take the next step, be it qualify at what do we call it? At rank. Whatever it is, find 3 new distributors, get your 3 and 30, whatever it is that you set yourself. Those are goals. That's what I'm talking about as goals. And they are the things that you want to achieve. So they are the results that you want. They are the outcomes of your actions. And so we are trying to change the results we get compared with what we got last time, or consolidate results that we're happy with by focusing on our goals. But in order to get our goals achieved, the success of our goals isn't about dreaming about them. It's about actually establishing a process that makes them happen. And that, by that, I mean getting habits in place that you do consistently to achieve those goals. And one of the things that this author, whose name is James Clear, comments on is that goals are perhaps troublesome. And I'm talking about these short-term goals. They're troublesome because let's just take this, for example. Let's suggest that we all are aiming at being a director. Okay, so we're all aiming at a 4,000 point month. And everybody really wants a 4,000 point month, and they do what they can to achieve that. But the fact of the matter is that some people achieve that goal and others do not. So they've had the same goal, but they don't get the same results. And so what is it that separates those people that achieve their goals from those that don't? Because it isn't the will, it isn't the desire, it's something else. Another problem with achieving a goal is that it's actually a short-term pleasure. So let's say you were aiming at a 4,000 point month, you get to the end of the month and by hook or by crook, you do your 4,000 points. And then the new month starts and you're back at 0. And so now you've got this mountain to climb again to get another, to get your 4,000 points. And so achieving your goal is often an act of dogged will and determination. And it only really changes your life for the moment. And then you're back to square one and you starting what feels like being at the bottom of the ladder. And you have to gear up again and you have to summon your energy and that kind of thing. But if we actually get the habits in place that create those results, then we won't have that high points and low points at the end of every month. Goals also can restrict your happiness because you aim at the goal, and if you get it, you feel happy, and if you don't, you feel miserable. And you don't actually credit yourself with any positives along the journey. So you either feel that you're a success or that you're a failure, and you aren't actually getting to the point where you understand that if you've got a successful system in place and you're actually operating the system, that you can be happy and satisfied, that the short-term mishaps are not going to affect the long-term result, the long-term vision. These things happen. It's life. It's the way the world works. And then the other fourth thing that he mentions is that goals are at odds with long-term progress. It's a bit of a yo-yo effect. He says that setting goals means that you are setting the intention to win a game, for example. But when you are focusing on putting systems in place or putting habits in place, what you are focusing on is to continue playing the game. So it's not to win the game, it's to continue playing the game, and you have your wins and you get more wins the longer you play, but you also might have failures, but you're still in the game. So what is underpinning then the goals? You've got the goals or the outcomes, they're the results, but those require other things to be in place. And the first thing is to start establishing the habits and routines that you do every day that will lead to the results that are your goals. And then the next question is, how do you establish what those habits and routines are? And this is where it takes it one step deeper, shall I say. And this is where it really struck me as an important piece of information. And that is that, that your habits are best put in place when they actually help you change your belief in who you are, your identity, your self-image, your worldview, etc., etc. And so what this man, James Clear, is suggesting is that if we can do things which make us feel and think differently about ourselves, we will then become the people that produce the goals that we want. So what am I trying to say? Let's think of this. It's a very different thing to say, I am a person who wants X. Wants to be X. It's very different from saying that to saying I am a person who is X. Okay, so if you want to be a writer, say, you can want to be a writer as much as you like, but if you don't actually ever write, you will never be a writer. So if your goal is to be a writer, then the habit you need to put in place is to write on a daily basis. And then you start realizing that each time you write, you are a writer. You're not becoming a writer, you are a writer. Each time you practice the violin, you are a musician. The ultimate goal is to become a concert violinist, but every time you practice the violin, you are a musician. We all are aiming at having teams. If we have a team, we need to be a leader in that team, of our team. So each time you encourage someone in your team, you are a leader. Therefore, the more times you encourage people in the team, the better leader you are. And so you set in place the kind of person you want to be, and then you make sure that you take the actions that such a person would take, and then you will achieve your goals. So in terms of our business, we should all be people who are healthy. So what does that mean? It means that we need to exercise. So what are we doing? Every time you go for a walk, or put your walking shoes on and go for a walk around the block, you are a person who exercises and therefore is healthy. We know that we should be getting all the nutrients we need. So every time you use the products and eat a good, wholesome meal, you are a person who is fully nourished and therefore will be healthy. Every time you phone somebody, you are a person who is a networker and therefore will find out about the needs and wishes and so on of someone else, and maybe have something you can offer them. And so what I'm going to suggest that you do is get hold of the book by James Clear. It's called Atomic Habits. And the book goes into a whole lot of detail as to how you can identify the habits that a person like you wants to be. The person like the person he wants to be does in order to be that person. And so if we are all business people, what do business people do on a daily basis? And are we doing that? And are we setting in place the things that business people do? Because if we don't do that, at the end of the month, we'll be scrabbling around for our 4,000 points, and we may or may not make it. And we will be yo-yoing up and down the goals ladder. So I hope that's helpful. Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you search, you can probably get a free PDF online, and it's really worth paying attention to. And let's make this year matter, where we all, by the end of this year, are outstanding business people with thriving neo-life businesses, having helped hundreds of people to better health and wellness and wealth.
Yeah, I like that, Andre. Let's do it. I'm all in. Thank you for that. You're in too. Good. Okay, well, that is really wonderful. I'm very, very pleased that you introduced us to that book. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Andre, you just go well, and thank you very, very much indeed. While I sort Rory out. There we are. Sorry. Okay, Roll, over to you. Thanks.
Okay, Rory is sorted. Good evening, everyone. And so good to, I just sit listening to all of this, and this information that has been shared tonight is priceless. It's like wisdom building. You've been listening to a bunch of wisdom builders. And Nola, thank you for your great start to the evening and the information you shared. Barry, thank you for that great insight to the business. It's always so good hearing your thoughts. And Andre, thanks for just backing that up with so much wisdom. And we are all better off for being part of that. Anyway, so I'd like to just wish you all a good and happy new year. I know it's going to be a great year. And, I want to just summarize a little in closing here tonight. What we've actually been talking about is, if you want to succeed, you've got to focus on changing yourself, not others. That's basically what it's all about. Your success is entirely dependent on you. In fact, where you are today is a direct result of your actions or lack of actions from yesterday or yesteryear. And so focus on yourself and the changes you've got to bring about, irrespective of the economy. There's so many doomsayers out there about what's going to happen. Just turn your back on that. Irrespective of that, focus on yourself and your abilities, and you'll have a successful year. Now, I just like to remind you at this stage, because I have to remind myself today, becoming part of NeoLife, it already puts us on a road to a better tomorrow. So by just being part of this opportunity, we are headed in the right direction. And it's good to remind ourselves about the benefits of being part of this business. Now, we know there are a lot of benefits, but they're the little things that we so often forget or overlook. And I'm just going to run through some of those. By being part of NeoLife and using their products, the first thing that comes to mind is we are exposed to less pollution. By using home care products, for instance, LDC washing your fruit and vegetables, that in itself is exposing your body to less pollution. That is so important. So we're exposed to less pollution by being part of the business. We are exposed to better nutrition. And this better nutrition leads to long-term health and better habits, nutritional habits. There's no question of doubt about it. In my mind, we're all moving on in age, but being on our nutritional products gives your body the best chance of being healthy. And so that's another benefit we receive from the business. Being part of NeoLife, the amazing part about it is we become more health conscious. Now think about this. You are more, your choices, your selection becomes so much important. I came across something just the other day. We had some visitors around fairly recently, And, one of them smoked, and we didn't have an ashtray in the entire house. So in other words, if you look at people in Neolife, most of them don't smoke. I think you found that. Very, very few people smoke in Neolife. It's a good awareness of health. It's a good condition to work on. Because we're part of Neolife, we've become happier from rubbing shoulders with positive people. That's what you've done tonight. Instead of the normal negative news garbage that we listen to on television and things, you've been rubbing shoulders and associating with positive people. And that's going to make you a happier person with a better outlook. In South Africa today, if there's one major thing lacking, I believe it's happiness and joy. Those two things, happiness and joy, go together. And it is so lacking in this country because people are looking for happiness. Being part of Neolife can help their happiness program. And, but to be happy, you must first find joy in your life. And joy is nothing more than a state of mind. It's a choice that we make. I'm going to be joyful. I'm going to be joyful. And so joy and worry do not coexist together. You're either worrying or you're joyful. So make a conscious decision when you get up in the morning. I am going to have a joyful day. I'm going to choose joy as opposed to worry. By becoming part of Neolife, you become wiser. And this is a point I wrote, and it's been coming through all the time. It's that association with people who know where they're going and know what they're talking about. It's that training program. It's that book that you read. It's that Zoom program you attend. It's adopting the principles of a successful person long term. By becoming part of Neolife, you develop better human relationship skills. If you're going to overcome challenges in life, you've got to learn to get on with other people. And adopting the principles of Neolife, listening to the training, you're going to learn to get on with people. Another benefit is extra money. Now, extra money simply relieves stress in your life. So, in this business, you can choose to make a little part-time income, and we're perfectly comfortable with that. You can make a couple of $100 per month, a couple of thousand, you might make 10,000 Rand a month or more, but you can also choose to be wealthy in this business. Now, we find that, and I'm going to be quite frank with you, only 2% of people in this world are prepared to pay the price of wealth to succeed. So 98% of people in your business are going to be part-time, and that is good because Neolife is actually a part-time business. That's the way it's designed. So you work full-time on your job, but you work part-time on your future fortune. And so it is a part-time business. And if you choose to go full-time, then obviously it's a different ballgame completely. So it's the beginning of the year. And, it's always good to ask yourself some critical questions at the beginning of the year. And, the starting point, and everyone who's spoken tonight comes onto this thing. What do you want out of Neolife? What is your why? This is where people trip up. So many people have great expectations with under commitment or low levels of commitment. And that's what I call false expectation. Get that sorted out in your mind. Don't come into this business saying, oh, I want to make 20,000 or 100,000 Rand. Hey, it's possible, but don't have false expectations on it, or unrealistic goals, or conflicting goals. You want this, and you find you want these great things. There is a price to pay. If you want to make 100,000 Rand a month, my dear friends, your commitment is great. It's not a 10-hour-a-week shot or anything like that. So don't have false expectations about it. So important, because once you've got a clear vision, you can make plans, you can set goals, you can take action, and you can get results. And that's what we call the success cycle in life. And, for any man to be successful, I believe that they need to have a purpose in life, they need to be productive, and they need to be making progress. And I believe Neolife ticks those boxes. What I would suggest you do for the start of your year is go out and get yourself a journal or a hard-covered book, a solid book of value, and start start a journal basically, and start with a couple of questions. Are your goals, here are the questions you should be asking yourself, are your goals and plans clearly defined and in writing? Okay. Are they clearly defined and in writing? That is important. And also not only in writing, illustrate those goals. So in your book, you should have a page of clearly defined goals that you want. Nola spoke about 10, and circle the one that is of most importance to you. But get photographs to illustrate those goals. You want to get that embedded in your subconscious mind. So are your goals clearly defined and in writing? Number 2, are you continually getting people involved in the network? So critical. It's your major activity. If you're going to grow this business, recruiting a network is your major activity. And you're going to hear some very exciting things on Monday, where there are little tweaks that are being made to getting your focus onto recruiting a team, because that is the way forward. You do not build legacy on customers. You build legacy on active team distributors. Okay, so it's your major activity. And, if you're not doing that, you can change it. But there are 2 things you've got to look at. Your belief. Do you believe in what you're doing? Number 1. And number 2, your skill level. Get those 2 things sorted out. Number 3, once you're getting people into the business, are you keeping people involved in your business? The old story, a bucket with a hole in it. You're pouring water into a bucket and it's got a hole in it, you're getting nowhere fast. What are the things that cause people to leave the business? I'm going to just give you a few to think about. I believe one of the biggest causes for people to fail in this business is the failure to change their buying habits. In other words, they're still doing their shopping elsewhere. Do your shopping online through NeoLife. That is critical. If you don't get that part right, your belief never comes into place. Your story never comes into place. So failure to change buying habits is an important thing. Another cause of failure is the lack of financial discipline. Understand that every product you sell, you've got to take that cash and put it one side to replace the product you've sold. You have a profit margin, save 10% of that, and the rest of it you can use as income. But that financial discipline, if people do not have that financial discipline, they don't stay around for a long time. Another reason for failure, and the biggest one of all, is laziness. People are just too lazy to make the effort, and we can't help you with that one. I suggest you take more nutrition. That might get you up and running. So that was number 3, keeping people. Are you keeping people involved? Number 4, are you the kind of person that people want to be with? Man, that's a tough question. Are you the kind of person that people want to be with long term? And, I think that's the only thing you can do there is take a good look in the mirror and work on 3 things: your character, your competence, and your chemistry to work with people. You can always work on that. The saying, have a serving heart and a winning mind. That's a good starting point for that. So that was number 4. Success requires sacrifice. Everyone tonight has mentioned that. And there's a price to pay. And in our journey along the way, many times, we've been disappointed. And that's one of the things you've got to do to succeed, is learn to discipline your disappointments, because you will have them. Don't have a disappointment and fall in a heap. Discipline your disappointments. Very important. Okay, your ups and downs. And so that's another thing you should look at. So, look up the Lord and ask the Lord for help. Look in, and that's work on your personal development and personal growth. Look around you. You have some wonderful people around you, and everybody in this business. There's never been a time in history that this NeoLife opportunity has been more needed than it is today. So look around at the people that you can help. And then the last one is look forward. Look forward with a positive expectation. I can, and I will live the life of my dreams, and I'll help many other people achieve that. And so our business is needed. And I don't think at any time in my 47, 48 years in this business, have people required a cash producing asset on consumable products. That's what NeoLife is. It's your cash producing asset based on consumable products being networked. Today pensions are unreliable, if not totally disappeared. Money in the bank is usually not growing as it should. Inflation is outgrowing its performance, its growth. Investments are dicey. There's so much out there where people are enticing you to spend your money. Day after day, you see people making investments and they just lose the lot. And the exciting thing about NeoLife, it's dependable. I believe it's as good as you're going to get. You can depend on NeoLife, and it's one of those things that you can get into and create legacy for yourself and your family for generations to come. I am so excited about 2023, and Nola as well. We are going to make this business grow in 2023 beyond your wildest dreams. And we are looking to work and partner with people who are sick and tired of mediocrity and forget about the outside circumstance and just focus on themselves to becoming the best they can be. So from Nola and I just want to thank you for your time tonight. I trust it's been of value. I know there's been so much shared with you from the wisdom builders who've spoken to you, and we look forward to having a great, great year together. Thank you for your time. Good night.
We sure do. Thank you, guys. That was great.
Thank you.
Just
Thanks, Barry. Thanks, Andre, for your great input. That was
Thank you.
Thank you.